Hey guys, this is EX Ultraman 52 here. Today is another movie review, and it's on another Godzilla film. And this movie was requested by King Kong the Gorilla. Yes, that's the YouTuber's name. And he requested King Kong versus Godzilla, one of my favorite Godzilla films also. First off, with the plot wise, it's basically just a comedy film with giant monsters in it. Actually, it's Toho's first giant monster comedy film. And for the plot wise, basically this takes place right after Godzilla raids again. Godzilla is trapped in an iceberg, and an American submarine collides with the iceberg, and it unleashes Godzilla inside of it, and then he swims to this military base, and then just destroys it. So pretty much there's not really much of the plot. And then also these two comedy guys, I forget their names. I think his name was one dude's name was Sakurai, and then there was this other chicken dude who is scared out of his mind to be on the island where Kong was. And the island they were on was an island called Faroe Island. And pretty much it's inhabited by native people. And and so they go and try and find the villagers' god. So once they do that, they awaken Kong, and then they just run back, and then a few minutes later, a gigantic octopus comes in and tries to kill, threatens all of the villagers. I cannot pronounce the giant octopus's name. The giant octopus also appeared in two other films, War of the Gargantuas at the beginning of the film, and also Frankenstein Conquers the World as an alternate ending. You can just, I think you can type in Frankenstein Conquers the World on YouTube, and you'll be able to find the alternate ending. And so King Kong comes in, and the King Kong suit actually looks good. So Kong fights the giant octopus, and then the octopus retreats like the pussy the octopus is. And then Kong roars in defiance, and then he ends up drinking the berry juice, which actually, this is sort of funny, but it gets him drunk. Yeah, it actually is pretty funny, because he drinks the berry juice, and he gets all drunk, and he falls asleep while the villagers sing to him, "Alilaba, hey." And then Kong is freaking sleeping still. A bunch of people just dancing around him and acting like a bunch of morons. And so they wanted to take Kong back to Japan, but the Japanese military did not want them to. So Kong ends up becoming awake, and so they have to blow up Kong. And so the raft explodes when Kong is on the raft out at sea, and they think King Kong is destroyed and all that, but it turns out King Kong is just underneath the water, and the water starts to boil, bubble, I should say, and then King Kong comes out and then just heads off to Japan. Please know when you want to. Well, if somebody wants to take home a gigantic gorilla, please talk them out of it. Because if you don't, the giant gorilla is gonna possibly destroy a city, and then and then all the pressure is gonna be on you. So please just note that. Although that could never happen. Although I wish it did. That'd be awesome. So then, once Kong is on the Japan shores, King Kong comes face to face with Godzilla for the first time, and so Kong ends up throwing rocks at Godzilla, and then apparently that pisses Godzilla off. So Godzilla ends up using his atomic breath to spook Kong, and Kong is pretty much chicken of fire, because Kong just does not like Godzilla's bad breath. And so King Kong retreats, just like the chicken he is. I really don't like King Kong that much, but this King Kong I like. And then so King Kong is basically goes to a Tokyo, and then just starts destroying stuff, and then kidnaps this one girl, and then goes and then climbs on top of the diet building, if I am pronouncing that name right, or if I'm even saying the right building. And then basically they just put the berry juice that made Kong drunk into the head of a rocket, and then they fired it at Kong, and then it made him all drunk again. And then he fell down, and then Fujita, the girl's brother, because she's also a main character in this series, well, in this movie. So then Fujita grabs his sister, and then they airlift Kong to where Godzilla is. And also, I'm sorry about this, but before they take Kong to Godzilla on a Mount Fuji, they discover that Godzilla has a weakness, and that is electricity. And so they end up, they end up using that for Kong's advantage for the final battle on the Mount Fuji. Once Kong is right near Godzilla, Kong just starts going crazy, and like grunting and like roaring, and saying like, "I want to fight Godzilla! I want to fight Godzilla, man! I'll kick his ass right now!" Yeah, like I bet that was what he was saying the whole time. And so they let loose Kong. He falls down on his ass and landslides to a Godzilla, knocking him over. And then you pretty much know what happens. And if you haven't seen the film, Godzilla just kicks the living shit out of King Kong for most of the battle, until Godzilla gets until King Kong gets stronger by from electricity. And so they end up beating the holy hell out of each other. And so they destroyed this one building, as you can see in this picture here. And then they both fall into the water, and then King Kong is the victor. Well, pretty much that is the whole film. For rating wise, I give it a 10 out of 10. A great film to watch. Ultraman 52 here. Sorry, it was a short review. See you later.